you may give your closing statement.
Thanks, Jeff. I think it's really important that everyone here definitely inform themselves of the issues during this campaign. I said at the beginning of this discussion, and I'll say it again, there are questions and there are votes that you can make that will definitely change the appearance of this campus, as well as how your student fees are going to be collected and how much will be collected. So I think it's incredibly important that everyone at least vote and at best inform yourself thoroughly of all the issues and then make a really informed decision. I think it's really important that commissioners, executives on the CSA approach students and work with students. It's not realistic to think that all students can come up to the second floor of the University Center and meet with you on your time. You have to come down to the level of students. I've said putting email addresses and stuff at bus stops where people are missing their bus, having office hours outside of your office. These are all important ways to actually get in touch with students. And although this is the Communications Commission's job, I think it's all of it's the responsibility of all of the executives. So I think you as students need to demand this from your executives and really require them to be really interested and attentive to your needs. I think you can make a difference on this campus. I really believe in what the CSA does and what the CSA tries to do. So I think it's very important that you get involved. Email one of the commissioners just a question, just to see how things work on campus. Volunteer for the CSA. Advertise or run for a job for the CSA, or just come to a meeting of some kind and see what's going on and see how these issues affect you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you to all the local affairs commissioner candidates.
You're gonna cut me off.
Galen, I apologize. I don't know why I did that. Galen, you have the floor.
All right. It's interesting, first of all, that the last question I felt really passionate about, because that was a lot of what I was going to say in my closing statements about wanting the CSA to work more on consensus, work more to be united, to be able to be that representative voice. So I think I'll take an opportunity now to just speak about why I'm passionate about this position. I think that I've lived in this city and I've gone to this university for 4 years. I've studied political science. I've focused on international politics as well as local politics, and I really take the maxim, think globally, act locally to heart. And it's clear, like, the more I've studied about international conflicts and international, politics and all that kind of stuff, the most effective way to make change is at the local level. And so it's important for students, important for us within the city of Guelph to look at what are the real issues facing us. The municipal politics is where, like, 85% of our daily lives are decided. Like, all the services, all how we have our lives in Guelph depend on that kind of stuff. And the CSA affects a lot of the services that you get as students. And so I think it's really important to look at those things. I wasn't really motivated before this year to really seek a position of power. I really believe in servant leadership, but I feel that I've gotten so much from this campus and really gotten a lot from this city that I really want to be able to give back and try to best represent all of your needs, all of your interests within the CSA, trying to make the CSA more united and more effective, and also within the city, so trying to bring those issues to the city. If you guys want to find out more about my platform, go to my website, galen.fick.ca. Remember, I give a fick about local affairs, and make sure you guys go out and vote next week. Online, 9th to 13th. Like Jeff and Anastasia said, inform yourselves, go out and vote. That's the most important thing you can do.
Now I will officially thank all the local affair candidates. Thank you very much. And we'll now bring up our academic commissioner candidates. Okay. So we have our academic commissioner our Nathan Lachesky running for academic commissioner. The first question, before the first question, he will be given a chance for a 3-minute opening statement. You may begin when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Mediator. My name is Nathan Lachowski. I'm running for the CSA Academic Commissioner. I am the only candidate in the current slate, so I do hope that you do vote yes for me, and I'd like to prove to you why you should support me in my candidacy. So I'd like to start by explaining, first of all, what the actual position of CSA Academic Commissioner is. I think a lot of times, and given the amount of engagement the students have with the CSA, it's important to clarify what my role is. I think primarily I'm the academic ombudsperson for students here at the University of Guelph. And what does that mean? It means representing your concerns and your issues, and bringing forward and answering any questions that you might have. Okay. The second aspect that I would talk about is the representation that I do on behalf of students, or that I would do, sorry, on behalf of students as the CSA Academic Commissioner. And that involves sitting on multiple committees, particularly the academic governance structures. And so those are the committees that decide the different academic changes, particularly Senate, the highest academic governing body, a subcommittee of Senate called the Board of Undergraduate Studies, as well as the Curriculum Review Committee. And all three of those committees see the changes that are coming forward in curriculum and have an opportunity for feedback and approval and disapproval and a vote. And so that would be one of the seats that I would fill for you. And finally, I'm your student voice in governance. Okay, I'm an ex officio seat on Senate, so as part of my position, I do sit on Senate, and I'm the one that brings forward your voice. Okay, all of the students are represented by their program student senators, and I sit there as a CSA Academic Commissioner. And so I urge you that without your voice to me, I don't have a voice to bring to Senate. And so I think that's really important for you guys to understand. So why is it important? A lot of my other peers that are running for different positions have said issues like the food bank and transit, and external issues as well with the CFS and racial diversity and whatnot. So I think to me, academic is central to the student experience here. It's the reason that we're all here and we've chosen to go to a post-secondary institution. And though sometimes that may wander and sometimes we may forget that that's the primary reason that we're here, it is what our tuition dollars go for. It's the reason that we're paying rent here as well. And so I think that in that aspect, it is the central reason that we're here and the foundation for everything that we do. And for why me, just a few lists of the things that I've been doing on campus in the past years to prepare myself for this role. I've sat on Senate for 2 years, and I've also sat as a Student Senate Caucus co-chair. I spent 2 years on college government, this year serving as CBSSC Student Council President. I spent 3 years in intramurals, 2 years in residence life, and 3 years in residence. And I've worked with the Peer Helper Program as a supported learning facilitator.
Thank you, Nathan. For the first question, what do you feel is important in regards to advocating for students?
This question is fairly general, and I wasn't sure exactly how to approach it when it was given to me last evening. And I think in regards, it's everything. It's what the students ask for to be advocated for. It's not my idea or my role to simply put forward my ideas and thoughts on everything. I believe there's a certain amount of iteration that needs to go forward in between my position and the students to come up with the model that's best and might be most successful. But then ultimately, I advocate for what the students ask for. And so I'm your channel, the person to go through in regards to that aspect. What I think is really important is to advocate for the best educational experience possible. And that means using current pedagogical research in regards to academics to make sure that we're using the things that we as academics here in this institution have researched and found out are the best for students and the best for the student experience. And I think it's really important to advocate for student involvement and engagement. Okay, it's not just enough to have students sitting on committees. Okay, it's important that they need to be engaged and informed and have the resources they need to do a good job acting as student representatives. And I think one important aspect of that is bringing people together that are in a representative seat. And within the College of Biological Sciences here, I tried to bring together our program committee reps, our curriculum committee reps, and our student senators to have a discussion about what's going on in that college, what's going on in particular for the students. And I think bringing people together and engaging in that is really the goal of engaging students in advocacy. So that would be the answer to my question.